Everyone's an expert on social media because they use social media, but they don't have the data or the information to back up what they're talking about. What I'm talking about here is my life, my existence. I run a social media strategy company. I work with beauty brands, doctors, etc., big creators, smaller companies, but a lot of bigger creators. And we test a lot of content. And I mean a lot of content, from testing on trial reels to testing on TikTok to making alternate accounts, test accounts, fan accounts, and posting across all the platforms. We find a lot of data because we do what? We test and we have the information. But other people come in all the time and they're like, well, you should probably do this. And then I, without trying to be a jerk, go, well, okay, but what are you basing that off of? Well, I read an article or I saw this. That's fine and dandy. You can read something that somebody else has based their information off of. But I actually have a background in clinical psychology. And one of the first things you learn is about research. And one of the things you learn about research is how research gets skewed. People change numbers on things all the time to make it fit their narrative, their story. The reason I mention that is it's easy to think you know something based off of somebody else's data, but it's another to have done it and seen what happens when you test X, Y, Z. And I think one of the things that really frustrates people is they think they're going to get results overnight. And look, I know there's creators out there that maybe can get results overnight. And there are other companies that are like, we do 25 billion views every day and we can guarantee that for everybody else. Sure, within reason. But I ask a lot of you, try to do that for a dental office or for a beauty salon or other people that don't want to film and have certain standards about how things look. And A, you can't get them to film in the first place. And B, when they do film, it has to be a certain way. And they push against you the whole time. Not everybody can go viral. Not everybody can do all these things. You have to learn what works for who and how that's going to work. And that means testing. That means trying different formats. And that also means being patient. If you can't be patient enough and say, let's test out different content for 6 months to a year. And when I say test out, I mean one video is not enough information. You need to be putting out minimum 20 to 50 of certain styles to see how people respond to that. And that could even be a simple talking head video like this, but with different titles, different captions, different zooms, etc. But you have to test. If you have outliers though, things that you can find online that have millions and millions of views and do that, it'll probably do really well. Why? Because it's been tested. When you have things that have done really well, it's a great practice, especially if you're not used to content and making it, to go ahead and remake that content for yourself. Where am I going with all this? Social media is a game. It's a crazy game of testing and analytics and doing all the things. It's one thing to think you know it. It's another thing to test it at a high level and understand how people's brains work. Again, my background is in psychology. All I look at with content is what makes people click. I don't look at all these other metrics and things with it. We want to test everything from the beautiful, crazy cinematic to the simple shot on iPhone to the shot on a security cam. What makes people interact with something is all you should be asking yourself. And after you have a pool of data, and what I mean is after hundreds of videos posted across different platforms, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So for everybody out there that knows everything about social media, I ask you, test it for yourself. Don't just listen to articles. Don't just listen to your friend's opinion. Do not listen to me. Test for yourself, test at scale, get actual data, and you'll know what works. Find best performers, redo them, take your own ideas, do them, see what works better, get the results. The only way to know what works is to try different things. And if you can't do that at scale and you can't do it over a long period of time, it's not going to work out for you. And that's okay. Work with people who can help you or don't do it at all and focus on different ways of growing your business. My name's Ryan. I run Edit Butter Studios. We do content strategy for busy professionals. If you're looking for help, send me a message. If not, have a great day.